But in the floods, our house did got washed away, bits of houses, and all people dying. My brother went under the water and my sister got him. Even if the flood didn't start to happen, I still was scared.
It's knocked us right back, and my wife gave us a big cry next morning when where we lived, in the tree, and the animal was, destroyed.
We lost practically all of our crops that we had in.
But it's just that emotional loss on top of everything else.
Had a lot of issues, anxiety issues, PTSD.
And then of course 2 years later it happened again.
We're a network of artists and organisations that look at the role arts and culture play in disaster recovery. I believe that the role of creativity in disaster management is it opens up a new way of viewing a process of engagement with community.
A tool that they could use to talk about their journey.
You can be creative and be yourself.
Unlock emotions, I guess, is one of the big things.
When the talking wasn't enough.
Talking about a topic in a different way and working through emotions.
Think a little bit outside the box, to just think a little bit away from their own lives.
It allows the community to celebrate what we do have.
Sometimes, even in the worst situations, there is joy.
But it gives people an outlet and it makes people feel good.
You ready, sound person? Okay, it's quiet in the studio, please. You know, you think, here are kids who've been traumatised, here are kids who've been through a big event. But get into a story, get into that space where they're being creative, and that just goes. It's one of the nice things about this creative process is that they now start relating the creek to something creative. It's because they're helping to create the story and tell the story, it gives them an element of being in charge. And I think that's empowering. I think that's part of healing.
To get over the fact Yasi come and go, so the only way you can express yourself is making stuff like this.
It's got a shining light with all these artists around, and probably we might make it a little bit more with dancing and make it a little bit shining light more brighter,
Tough times, there's been fun times, there's been times when we've roused at each other. There's been times when we've hugged each other in love. There's been lots of times together. At the end of the day, we just say, I love you.
So taking time out to be part of such a thing, although it's a challenge, it's such a wonderful learning and growing opportunity.
It's very subtle but very important. It's about feeling emotionally connected to the land that you're on and seeing the beauty in what can be a very hard environment.
The National Creative Recovery Forum was held in Gatton, which is one of the larger towns of the Lockie Valley, and we had representation from almost all of the states and territories of Australia. We've managed to sort of frame a strategy which we will work together towards that will have a national perspective that can be applied at a very local level with local community members and artists in their own community.
So when people are doing their disaster recovery plans at the national, state, regional and then local levels, that arts and culture would find that, would be incorporated in them.
I think that the fact that now we know the arts, culture and creativity have a huge role to play in a community's recovery means that in the future we will be able to have a place at the table of broader recovery.